etc. So their objective is to, like, they want to increase the revenue up to certain percentage. At the same time, they don't want to lose their business. So they don't want to lose their business, like that means they don't want to lose their customer, and they want to run their campaigns, different campaigns to, fulfill and generate that, X% of revenue what they have targeted for the upcoming years. Okay, so this is the problem statement. We will take the reference of this problem throughout our presentation, and, we'll speak about that. So let's understand what is data science first. Yeah. So, some people talks about, data science is the, combination of mathematics, statistics, computer science, and information science. Few people says, it's the algorithms, visualizations, statistical computing, and all. But I would like to say that data science is something which help, those are the that technology and tools which help the business, like bit any business, so that help to generate some of the revenues and help to, help in terms of the cost saving opportunities. So a bit anything, by running different strategies, by building different products, and by building different features to the particular products, so that we'll see in the upcoming slides. Okay, so now we got to know, what is data science and analysis, so there is a segregation, as we see over here, it is a combination of mathematics, statistics, computer science, and information science. So, everyone can be a part of the data scientist. Everyone from the different fields can be a data scientist. So MBA guy can be also data scientist, the BCS guy can be also be data scientist, mathematician and statistician also can be a data scientist. So how they can become a data scientist as well, like that also we can see in the upcoming. So usually, the every domain, having a different business, they do different tasks day in day out, and while solving the different business problem. Like, let's say we talked about the insurance one, right? So maybe like statistician will do the exploratory data analysis and all. So at the same time, computer science guy can, build the data pipelines, build, he can also help in big data to create, build the products. At the same time, mathematician and statistician can come over there and build the algorithms. Okay, so that sort. And then product owner, product owner is an MBA guy, can pitch for the business, this is the tool or this is the service we have built, and we can serve this business and serve to the different stakeholders and client. So, this is the, quick just differentiation. There is a slight gap in analyst and data scientist. So analyst is something, who is involved in a BI activities, like business intelligence activities. And data science is, data scientist is someone who can take care end to end things. He will not be the jack of, master of all, but he will be like kind of the jack of all trades. So likewise. Okay, so we will go to the next slide then. So this is the exact skill required in a data science. So what if, you are a mathematician, what if you are a statistician, or what if you are a computer science guy? So what all skills you have to achieve, right? So these are the few skills which I have mentioned over here, in a different domain. So it's not necessary, if you are a mathematician, so you should not have the knowledge about statistics or machine learning or computer science, obviously, but your primary skills are, mathematics and statistics, right? So you should know the some of the algorithms, some of the distribution, how you do the hypothesis testing, right? And at the same time, you should know, whatever the algorithms you're building, or you are implementing for the particular products. So you should know, what is the maths behind it, that for that purpose you need linear algebra, you must need a calculus, you must know, what is the probability, what is the permutation, combination, etc. And at the same time, if you are a BCS guy or if you're a computer science guy, so what all things, you should know the, how the data structure works. You should know one of the programming languages, so how you can build the different, how you connect the data from one source to different data source, so how you can build the front end UI, like kind of UI UX. So all those things comes in a data science. Okay, So now we got to know, so these are the different roles in industry nowadays are trending. And these are the different jobs available in the market. So who are involved, who these all the peoples are involved in a data science project cycle. So first we talk about the data scientist, that is our main objective of today's topic. We are talking about the impact on industry. So data scientist is it can be your a mathematician, statistician, or computer science guy. So data engineer is all about for the uh, computer science guy, because they should know the how data pipelines works, how your data and integration happens. You should know some of the big data tools and technologies, kind of the cloud technologies. Okay. And same time bcs guy also can visualization expert, so he can be a visualization expert. So wherein he at this today's era, so everyone understand the visual things, right? So if you show some algorithm and all, people won't understand that. So you need to have that command on visuals. If you see what is the trend of covid patients, day by day, how those cases are increasing or decreasing. So how you will get to know? So if you have some dashboard, some visuals in front of you, you can easily recognize that one. But at the same time, data scientists can't build the visuals. So that time you need visualization experts as well. And the final and not the least is a process owner, right? So process owner is something who take care of whole life cycle, who understand the business requirements, who ask get the data for to work on for particular business problem. In insurance, the maybe the problem we talked about. So maybe the process owner can ask the data engineer, can you get the data of the 5 lakh customers we are having? And then we can we can run the different cross sell or upsell opportunities, cross sell and upsell opportunities in the maybe there are 2 lakhs customers as having only single insurance. So for that, based on their geographical features or their personal uh, personal behavior and all those things, taking consideration of all those things, process owner can ask, or the data scientist can build the algorithm wherein for those 2 lakh customers we can sell other products as well in an insurance domain. Okay, so there we need a process owner. Okay, so let's move on to the we will understand so where is the data scientist and data analysis can be used. If you go to the every era, every domain. So this is the few of the leading organizations which are mentioned over here. So if you pick anyone, be it it, be it your facebook kind of product, so be it amazon like e-commerce, then linkedin, netflix is visual, flipkart and amazon is e-commerce, google is having different products there by self. If you talk about the vodafone in a calling, in manufacturing in john deere, michelin and mrf in tire sector, shell in oil and gas. So likewise, if you go to any sector, there you will having a data scientist and data analyst who does the job and get the products built for the organization so and services. Even nowadays people started using in agriculture as well. So if you want to know more about, you can just go to the agrostar. So there in their website they have they have mentioned not all things that does stand out, not all the products they are having for agriculture business, how they can increase the revenue or build some cost saving opportunities. Okay. Yeah, so if you once now we understand what is data science, and we got to know which all the all organization which uses the data science. Then further we should know at the end, whenever you are building any products or any services, so we should know while building that products and services, we need to know some coding, right? So which all languages we use in data science. So Python, R, Julia, these are all open source languages, and people use heavily and rely on this one. So there are still few of the industries who relying on a other coding platforms like SAS and all. but at corely you should know, like if you want to be a data scientist, you should know R, Python, or Julia. So either one of them, or two of them, or three of them, at the lower side, if you are from BCS background and computer science background, so obviously you must be having some idea on C, C plus, Java and all. So that help you to while building some front end for the particular products or services. Okay, so we will go in bit detail, right? So in coding, what all different things we required apart from coding, right? So in languages we spoke about R, Python, Julia. So along with that, we need some databases, we need some development tools, we need some ML or AI tools to build any data science platform or tools. Okay, so here are the few one, in development tools you should have the visual expert, Git. So that is for version controlling, Jupyter for to this is a platform for Python. Then if you speak about the data platforms, so here we have a Hadoop, the SQL server. You can also mention the MongoDB, Kafka, etc. Okay, so the data ingestion tool is also that kind of the different kind of gateways, so we can say the APIs where we can connect with the different database and get the data in a particular platforms like R, Python, Julia, etc. And the MI AI tools is like something which wherein you can build your algorithms to while solving any business problem. So let's again talk about the insurance problem again. So there you are trying to build to generate the revenue. So how you are going to do that. So you will be building some models, cross sell upsell models. So you will be recommending these are the potential customers who can opt for the different insurance as well. So for that purpose, we can build the propensity models, or the cross sell upsell models, kind of the recommendation engine also you can build it. And using all those things, you have to showcase those things somewhere, right? As in terms of the web API or in terms of the BI tools. So in BI tools, we can use the Tableau, Power BI, Looker, etc. And even if you want to go for some visual tools, you can use the Django, Flask, Steamlit, and even you make a use of .NET and Java. So it depends on organization to organization. So what they opt for, and few of the people if you want to build the large scale solutions, so big data, so there they take care of the uh, big data cloud platforms. It could be your GCP, it could be your uh, Azure services, or it could be your AWS. So yeah, so that is all about if you want to be a data engineer or the data scientist. So this is some of the frameworks, and I'm going in a bit detail in a Python, because this is the language which is trending across the market. If you go and see even on a larger platform like Stack Overflow or other platforms, you will see this is the most widely used language nowadays in a application development or in a data science. So this is the frameworks NumPy, scikit-learn, Pandas. So these are the frameworks or libraries which are used in a building models or data processing, or other stuff. Matplotlib is something where you can make a use of visual to make a visuals in Python. So TensorFlow and Keras, those are the frameworks which take care of all the data science workflow. So starting from data loading to data processing to building model to validating model to so all this flow this framework can take care of. And Jupyter and Colab, so these are the two tools wherein we can make a we can code. So basically, and though both are open source. So Colab is it is developed by Google, and Jupyter is your local. So in locally where you don't need to connect with any. So where you have whenever you are trying to work with the CPU, so there you will work on Jupyter. And Colab is something wherein so whenever you are having a large scale of data, so there CPU doesn't work, computer science people can relate that. So there we need something kind of GPU, right? So there Colab help provides you some kind of a pre GPU wherein you can execute your Python codes. Okay, now we understand what is the data science and what are the different coding platforms and tools and technologies we use for coding. So let's jump into the what the different application. So before going to the applications, we will these are the few of the sources to learn the different ML tools, technologies, and coding as well. So there are many, but I have mentioned few of them, so which is trending in the market. So Coursera is something if you want to do it from overseas universities, you can opt for Coursera. Okay, so then another fun fact of so everyone wants to know what is the salary of data scientist and all. So why people are even people are nowadays, people are doing engineering, they are also moving in a data science. So why people are moving? So here you can see this is the average pay in US and average pay in India. So in India, we get somewhere around 1 million rupees, and so in US it is somewhere around more than 100K. So that is the salary in USD. Okay. Okay, so now we got to know. So we'll just speak about the application of in a big data and data science. So how exactly they use the data scientists to make the effective decision and all. So we'll pick either few of the industries or few of the a particular algorithms. So and how it benefits to the organization. Okay. So first thing is a terrorism, right? So it affects to everyone, security is a major issue everywhere. You go in a banking domain, you go with you are even if you have certain accounts nowadays, you every day, alternate day, you heard there is some some my Facebook got hacked, my Insta got hacked and all, because of those things. So yeah, terrorism is something is important. So there there people can using data science to detect so to find the malware malicious activity and stop the attacks. So detecting malicious activity, so analyzing networks, so how would they do it, right? So that is the curious question some all you might have. So what they use is they use outlier detection method over here. So outlier detection, what is there are two ways to basically people use unsupervised learning as well. So I'm not going into the algorithm in detail way, but I will talk about that technology, what it does. So outlier detection is what it does is it helps you to find the irregular activities. So in the system or in the banking domain, and then that tells this is the suspicious activity. So there fraud can happen, or this can be a security threat. So you can go there, you can just your domain expertise can verify that. So there few things are real time, few things are based on the business needs, they use that. Okay, so then we'll move ahead with the cricket or your sports. Okay, so people must this is something area all Indians are great fans of cricket. So we know in cricket also if you go to the bcci.tv, you must having the different positions for statisticians and all. So how the use of data scientist and analysis, and how the benefits out of it, right? So ticketing is something whenever you are organizing some game in Pune, let's talk about the cricket. So let's say you are organizing some game in Pune. So BCCI must think about what the revenue will generate based of top tickets, based of other different activities. So data scientists build that model to this is the kind of predictive model wherein they can tell you based on the historical data, so and the current weather scenario, or using other aspects. So they can tell you this much of people can come to see your match live. So in the game strategy as well, so you must be having the player stats and all. So and based on the current form and all those things, so it can help you to optimize the game strategy as well, which should be the your playing 11 and all those stuffs. So where do you place the fielders, so kind of that video analytics. Yeah, so uh, that can help you to in a game strategy. And player performance also, like we must be having some historical data. Using that, we can build some of the predictive modeling, so this player can perform better, this perform player is not having in that great form, so you can just avoid him to select in a your final 11. So this is like most widely used domain, which is banking and finance. Okay, so there are like many things over here. So fraud detection, churn prediction, cross sell upsell campaigns, customer segmentation, liquidity management. So this all are the solutions in a banking and finance, which data scientist has developed. So we'll speak about few of the solution. So customer segmentation. So why we need a customer segmentation? So every bank is having credit card, debit card, and other their products. So they want to sell some of the credit cards. So like usually we get a call and we get irritated out of it as well. You whenever you want a credit card or not. So how you decides that? So data scientist having the propensity model, they build the propensity model. So these are among their let's say you have, like again we take the insurance organization, which where we have 5 lakh customer base. So they select these are the 1 lakh customers where you can approach. And if you approach this, like, because all these activities having a certain budget to they can call to every 5 lakh customer and ask like whether do you need a credit card, where do you need a debit card and all. So they select some set of sample, how they do select the sample. So using the logistic regression models or the prediction models, they select this is the sample, you can call to this 10K customers. So a data scientist say if you call to this 10K customers, there are high chances out of this 10K, 3,000 customer can turn and they can actually opt for your credit or debit card. So this is a strategy banking implements, and data scientists help to build that strategy. And same thing go with the churn prediction. So now this is the one of the important part, because whenever you are losing some business, so that is one of the worst thing for a particular organization. So right, so let's say you are earning some $100, and if you're losing a business of $50, you must be having some your salary cost, infra cost, and all those things, right? And after that you will be making some net revenue out of it. But if you are existing customer are churning, directly it affect to your business, right? So basically in insurance, maybe like if you're opted for ICICI Lombard, and if HDFC is providing some good facilities and all, or they are covering some more diseases, so you will definitely go for that one. But it is the loss for ICICI Lombard. So what every organization and finance organization, what that does is they identify what is the which who is the customer will churn in the upcoming months or upcoming quarters. So likewise they they are having a background models of prediction model to do that. At the same time they must also try with because of what reason that customer will churn, right? So be it they don't like a policy and all, so they must be having their historical churning data. So they make a use of that one. And also along with that, they can also try to find out when the customer will churn, right? So because they should know that time framework, so if you don't know that time when customer will churn, so maybe that strategy will not work. So if they find who is going to churn, because of why that customer will churn and when that customer will churn, so then run the different kind of campaigns out of it to retain that customer, right? So let's say now 100 customer are churning in the next month. So they call them and they ask sir, what happened to you, why you are going, is there any plans to move from this or insurance to another insurance? So why you are moving, kind of. So there are different campaigns, right? So they must provide your 10% discount to your other things, or maybe they opt for 15% discounts, or they run different kind of campaigns. Okay, so now if they run different kind of campaigns, so maybe there are chances 50%, there is a retention rate of 50%. Out of 100, only 50 customer can may retain, and other can opt for other insurance. So that also happens, right? So there your success rate is a 50%. Okay, Now, you are running a different kind of campaigns, right? So you are giving a 5% discount, you are giving 10% discount or 20% discount, or the different through channels, right? So there, you should know like which campaign strategy is working better, right? So maybe 5% works more efficiently or 10% work more efficiently, or you are running those campaigns through different channels. So you should channels is in maybe calls, you are calling them, you are emailing them. So we have to check the performance of those different channels as well. So data scientists use the A/B testing framework. So A/B testing framework, so where they checks here the testing of hypothesis comes in the picture. So the simple using the different sampling techniques and all, they build the A/B testing framework, and there they decides which strategy works better to retain the customer. So that they can save in terms of the cost saving opportunity. So wherever they are not getting great success, they can close that one, and wherever they are getting great success, they can implement that throughout the different geographies. So that's how cross sell upsell works. Okay, so liquidity management is something maybe one organization having a different sister companies. If you talk about the Google. So Google is having different YouTube. There you must be having Gmail. Then you must having different, if you talk about, even if you talk speak about the Facebook. So in Facebook, you even having Insta and all. So Insta, then WhatsApp and all. So liquidity management is something wherein let's say you are earning today $100, right? And you are at the same time you will be having those stakeholders where you have to pay for the stakeholders, right? So wherein the YouTube contents which are different people having a different channels. So there you pay for those people, right? So, and let's say YouTube today earn the $100 and they have to pay 150 USD dollar, right? So in that case, they have to manage those 50 USD dollar from somewhere, right? So how they can get that $50? Like if $50 is small amount, but in the business sense, they need some million amounts. So how they can manage that stuff? So they can ask for WhatsApp, or they can ask for their different fund accounts. Okay, can you borrow that cash on? Can you help us with the $50? So there they need a advanced prediction, right? Because they don't know what is the business they will do on a particular day or particular month, right? So in that case, time series forecasting comes in the picture. So when we can do the forecast for upcoming years or upcoming days, so what will be the your the revenue for a particular day, and what will be the your sale, the amount which you have to pay in the upcoming days. So that you can do using a time series forecasting. Okay, so that is about the banking and finance. So internet search, right? Now NLP comes in the picture, natural language processing. So now if you see the almost 95% of the data in today's world in the either in a text format, video format, or the image format. So tabular data is quite less, like only we have 5% of tabular data. So numerical or beta categorical and all those stuff. So there we that 5% of data people uses high level. And this is something internet search, let's say you want to know the where you get the best chicken biryani. So that's what you can text it, you get the different hotels and all. So behind the scenes what happens, there is a pattern detection algorithms by Google developed. So they identify based on the Google trends and all. So people must have provided ratings over there, they must have written the reviews over there. So they all the analyze all those stuffs, and then they within a seconds they provides you the result. So this is the best restaurant where you get the good chicken biryani, right? At the same time, you must have searched for, if you must have seen and you must have experienced this one, whenever you're clicking, let's say you want to buy a new TV, and you must have check on some Amazon website or Flipkart website through Google. So whenever you are closing on, even if you are accessing some other stuff, so at the side you will get that news, some advertisement of TVs, the different features and all those stuff. So how that happens? So that happens with the adverts and AdSense. So that is the Google's best business, wherein I can say the 90% of revenue Google generates from adverb and AdSense. So what they do is they target their users. till the time you purchase that product. So that is kind of the advertisement business for Google. So there also, we have the different things happens behind the scenes, where the data scientists build those models for the your uh, uh, search search methods. Okay. And then digital marketing, so it digital ad sorry yeah, it's digital advertisement. So it is the same, what we spoke about uh, in the digital marketing, where we have the different targeting ads, where you can just, okay, along with that you can do the RFM analysis as well. So RFM analysis is something to understand the customer behavior. So like, let's say you are visiting to Amazon, so this applies to Amazon, Flipkart, or the different groceries online businesses. So wherein, they want to know, how frequently my customer is visiting to me, how frequently, so if, there are few customers so who are, coming once in a month, but they are, making purchase of high wealth, like talking about the groceries, right? Groceries, not people always go a day in day out, so either they go at a bi-weekly basis or monthly basis or quarterly basis, right? So there are chances, which customers are the wealthy customers, right? What is the frequency of those customers to come in the market? So and monetary value, kind of the wealth. So that, analysts, data scientists try to understand, and based on that they runs the different promotion activities to that. Like, you must seen, on a this particular grocery you have a 10% discount, 15% discount, and all those. So all those things come, and those strategies comes after the certain analysis has done prior to that, and then it comes to you. Okay, so same thing, optimization of marketing campaign. So this is the, usage and the impact on digital industry of data science. Okay, then we can talk about the recommendation engine, right? So recommendation engine, let's say you buy mobile, right? So if you buy the mobile, then, along with that you get the headphones or the AirPods, so etc, mobile case and all those things. So how that comes, so behind the scenes, the recommendation system is, again, the algorithm where the data scientists use heavily to, for the user targeting. So wherein, you can search, this is the now you opted for mobiles and you are getting different products. So you must have seen this on Flipkart and Amazon. So that algorithm is a recommendation system. So maybe it could be the collaborative or some other algorithm. And so if you want to arrange those products in a retail chains, so you should know, how exactly you can arrange those products in a particular things. So where we people heavily use the market basket analysis. So what it does is, let's say whenever you are going to any retail shop, so you are ordering some dairy products, right, day in day out. So if you are taking a milk, so there are high chances, you can take eggs as well for breakfast, or you can take the breads as well. So likewise, you if you go to the retail, big retail chains like Allmart, Allgreens, even in Pune, like DMart and all those stuffs. So their products are well organized. So based on what stuff that they arrange those products, that, there we use the market basket analysis. Okay, then, talking about the video analysis and all, so the speed management system. So this is, these sensors, this is kind of the IoT application. So this is kind of IoT application where, which is implemented on a Pune Mumbai highway as well as Bangalore airport road. So initially it was launched on Bangalore airport road. So whenever you are overspeeding, so this is just to, avoid the accidents. Uh, so where we have a sensor, so whenever you overspeed, so go beyond 100, you will get the picture on your cell or your the registered license, and it will tell you, this, you got a fine of 1,000, 2,000, whatever it is. So behind the scenes, those sensors and those analysis done by data scientists. So where we use that, yellow 3 is the, trending algorithms in video analytics nowadays. Okay, so this is about video. So speech recognition, so we are having the audio data as well. So people make a use of that in a data scientist for the various, marketing and the other stuff. So here we don't found. Okay, so then the social gaming things. Okay, so how, like, how you, when you think, like, people build the gaming is the nowadays trending business. People earn so much, like, you can go live and you can earn with the live games and all. So here also that, like, social and customer analysis. So which games you play, like, there also you can get some of the ads. Even if you play the simple ludo, you there also you will get some kind of ads. So such kind of things happen. So behind the scenes to developing, again, in the development of games also people use the data science, and also for customer analysis also people use the data science. Okay. Okay, so then, like, price comparison, right? So whenever you are opting for any, like, let's say you have planned for some trip, right? So you must have checking, like, which is the best hotel you gets and that. So, like, let's say you are looking for 3 star, you go for the travel, like you go for the booking.com and all those things, and there you compare and you get the best shot. So, right, so that is also the customer target is, because at the end industry is relying on either on revenue generation or the cost saving opportunities. So they want to create a business, or they want to, like, save some of the money using existing business. So that's how thing works. So, like, all those things behind the scenes, like, there are certain kind of supervised, unsupervised, deep learning, or, like, your artificial intelligence. So some kind of algorithm is there, like, even the simple analysis, exploratory data analysis can help us to make a effective decision. Okay, then route, right? Route planning. So, okay, sorry. Yeah. So yeah, so route optimization, right? So maybe, like, so you get some delivery from Amazon and all. So how that planning happens, right? So maybe that guy, vendor guy, comes to you, along with you it comes from, like, a different set. So which route he should opt, and kind of that. So in logistics, like, you must have seen on the must tankers, like, somewhere on the roads. So, like, which routes they should pick, how they, like, what is the cost of, like, fuel cost. So maybe, like, there are some vendors who go for the rented trucks. So what if, like, they get the rented trucks, so what will be the cost if they rent, what if, like, they use the in-house trucks. So all those things comes behind the scenes, where here, like, mathematics is important, because in workforce management and all, people heavily use the linear programming, right? So kind of the operation research techniques. So if you go to the Google OR tools, if you search, like, you will get the different linear programming techniques, so which can use for the route optimization. You can do the delivery management based on demand and supply. So few people might need a delivery of in the morning time, few people need the delivery on evening time. So you have to manage your business according to their needs, right? So for that planning, you can use the linear programming or the route optimization techniques. Okay, again, come to the fraud, and, like, this is kind of the banking things. And the again, like, I think we have spoke enough on this one. So I will take you to the next. Okay, so logistics. So this is something is really important, demand and supply planning, right? So let's say tomorrow you need milk of 100 liters in a particular region. So, and you have the supply of 50 liters, right? So you have to manage that. So they are 50 liters from somewhere else. So there we need a time series forecasting, right? So how that demand, you have to fulfill that demand, and what will be your supply for next day, right? So that forecasting model works over here. So inventory management system. So this is something really important, like, so whenever inventory management is really keen, again, it helps to manage your demand and supply. So inventory management's, like, if you talk about the John Deere, so in India, we most of the people knows John Deere for tractors. So if you go to the USA, you will having the tractors, loaders, dozers, construction excavators, etc. Right? And it's not like that. So even like this, all those agriculture products, John Deere gives on rent as well. So wherein, like, they earns from their rent. So after the rent, they get some rent, and they, like, for a years they put on rent. After, like, once they get their machine back, so they like, make some adjustment, and they resell product as well. So how they do manage, the, like, there the inventory management is key factor, like, to manage your different pockets and the revenue. Okay, then IoT. So this is something like really key in business, right? Like nowadays everyone want quick things, right? So let's say you are searching something on Google and Google asks you to wait for 2 minutes or 3 minutes. You will not wait for that time. So you will go for some other search engine. So that's why like now you like in India at least I don't see like people uses Yahoo or people uses some other search engine. People are relying on like Google. Why? Because of their speed. So there are like kind of the service they are providing, right? So that is important. So the real time data analysis is also important. So there IoT things comes in the picture. So let's say you are having a certain power plant maintenance, right? So maybe you are providing some 10 crores on that power plant maintenance through year. So there like data scientists can put some of the sensors they can analyze, and they can build that framework wherein like you can that sensor can help you like when the preventive maintenance has to be done for the particular machines. So you can calculate the predict the lifetime value of the particular machine, and accordingly with respect to your prediction model and with respect to your sensors, you can take a decision like now we can go and do the maintenance of the particular machine. So that is the way you can save some of the cost uh, using IoT. Okay, then we'll go to the next. So even healthcare is not the like you see like there are some you every day like people go do the sonography and all those stuffs, and people identify. So how you identify like doctors talks about like so this is something this is happened to you. So for that this is prediction also, people like data scientists build some model. So if you want to know more about you, you can go to the Kaggle. So that is also the child organization of Google. So they organize different kind of competitions. So there you get the across from different verticals, you get the you will get the like kind of the problem statement and how that solves a problem statement. Okay, and also like whenever you comes with the like new medicine in the market, right? Like the COVID vaccine. So if you spoke about the recent topic, right? So some research happens behind the like it's not like simply so they first try on like the animals, then they try on healthy humans, then they all those study comes, and then there are like results comes. Even like nowadays people decides which dose I should take. I should whether I should go for Covishield, I should go for Covaxin, and in the foreign countries like you should go with other doses, right? So how you decide? So like you think like Covishield works 93% good, right? So how those things came from? So there are some data analysis happen there like people are there to do the studies and research, and data scientists help to like and these studies happens, these clinical trials happens, or at least like when at least for 5 years to 10 years. So that is the like time frame they research on that particular drugs or the medicine, and then it comes to the market. Okay, so then like the Tesla one, the self driving cars. Okay, so there people use the deep learning and artificial intelligence where you have to do the detect the object like so where like you can put the your car on auto driver mode and you can relax. So that happen nowadays, and that is like achievable using deep learning and AI and your big data technologies. Okay, so now we have seen the impact on different industries or healthcare, banking, finance, agriculture, etc. So we should know, like, how it helps to the society as well, right? So if you talk about the society, so environment sustainability models. So you like, whenever you are planning for some tips, you act like, you believe like now the nowadays there are rainy days, right? So let's say you are planning for Goa and you see like, what will be the weather for next 10 days. So those are the forecasting models or prediction models. So similarly, like few people go and do the mining activities like bitter coal mining and all in India. So most of the mining activities happens in either Karnataka or Telangana, right? So different organization does that. So but like they have to follow certain rules and regulations. So they should know like their AQI, the air quality index, should not go up to certain threshold. So because that is harmful for the flora fauna around that particular region, right? So they have to make sure that so data scientists can build some Gaussian model on top of that, if you at the certain height you take do the blasting over there, so what will the spread and what will be the impact on air quality. So all those studies happen using data science. Okay, and then organization takes the decision, if you go with the certain stakes and heights, then only the air quality index will not go beyond this, and based on that they takes decision do the drilling over there. Okay. Okay, then hospital success, so nowadays you get the medicine online, right? So this is something to detect the disease, the example which we have seen earlier. So all kind of those things happens, almost in everything. There is a lot of research happens, a lot of prediction models are there, a lot of prescriptive analytics you get from that predictive modeling, forecasting modeling, or the image analysis, text analytics, video analytics. And based on that, either organization takes the effective decisions, and it helps to society as well as the different organization. Okay. Okay, so now we'll come to the current trends in data science. Okay, so which is the trending tools and technologies people use and people heard of. So this is few of them. So Internet of Things we spoke, then artificial intelligence we spoke, then graph analytics is something is trending, agile data science, then experience economy, journey science, the behavioral analytics for customer that we have seen, machine intelligence, kind of the IoT application, and hyper personalization. So this is the some data analytics trends for at least for this year. Next year this may change. Okay. So that's all about yeah, but now someone wants to know, I want to be a data scientist, I'm from mathematics, I'm from statistics, or I'm from this background. So how I should go ahead and study that, and how I can be enter in a data science. So there you can go with this one. So this is the road. I think this is clumsy image where you can't see much, but yeah. So when here you have the almost every path. So you can achieve something of it. It's not if you achieve everything, so you will be the one of the best in the market, I must say. Yeah. So you can achieve few of the things are text analytics, then data mining, which all data mining techniques you should know, data ingestion, visualization in machine learning, and the different of coding things, big data stacks in statistics, programming, and the fundamentals, the basic fundamental you should know. So this is the graph, or and learning and the road to become a data scientist. So you can choose the particular path based on your prior education, and you can go there. Yeah. So that's all, team. So whatever I have, I've explained. So we are open for any questions, if you have, or if you want to know more about anything, or you can post in a chat as well, so we can answer that. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
You can post on chat as well, if you have any questions you can post it. Yeah. Okay, sir. If you have any questions, you can just post it to the YouTube link, or you can just share it with the department, and if you want to know more thing, so you can get my email ID as well, and we can discuss further. Yeah, that is all. Over to you.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Sheikh ma'am.
Thank you, sir, for giving your valuable insight on impact of coding and data analysis in industries. Very informative session. All participants, dignitaries, faculty members present here definitely got so much new things to learn from this. Thank you, sir. If any participant wants to ask any question, they can ask freely. Shall we go on, sir?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay. If anybody have any doubt or any query, they can post it their section in the chat section also. Okay then. Now I request Chairperson, Honorable Dr. P.H. Kadam sir, Principal and Associate Professor in Economics, Mudoji College, Paltan, for his presidential remark. Over to Dr. P.H. Kadam sir.
Good afternoon, all. Am I audible? Satyan?
Yeah, sir, you are audible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Department of IT and Management of Midhuji College has organized national level webinar on the impact of coding and data science in industries, which is helpful to students, faculties, and also researchers. Mr. Rahul Kondalkar has delivered their experience, which is valuable. Basically, coding and data analysis is required in service industries, that is banking and finance, advertising industry,
मला वाटलं माझी एक दुसरी sign असेल.
digital marketing, healthcare industry, and also retail industries. And in this regard, researchers and data analysts use coding and other qualitative data analysis process to help them make data-driven decision based on the customer feedback. Definitely, such a type of webinar have significant for our students and also faculties to update their knowledge. And also IT students are updating their knowledge through this webinar. On behalf of Mudoji College, I congratulate to Mr. Kondalkar for their valuable presentation, and I also appreciate to organizing secretary Mr. Lamkane sir and all the faculty of IT and management who took efforts to organize such a co-curricular activity. Thank you, over to organizer. Hello. Hello. Hello, ma'am. My speech is over.
Hello, Sheikh ma'am.
Thank you, sir, for your presidential remark. It was a pleasure being with you all today to propose vote of thanks for this superb webinar. I put up the charges to my colleague, Dhumal ma'am. Over to Dhumal ma'am.
Thank you, madam. Good afternoon to all. It is an immense pleasure to propose vote of thanks for this one-day national level webinar on impact of coding and data analysis in industries. I would like to propose vote of thanks to the dynamic resource person of this webinar, Mr. Rahul Kondarkar, Assistant Vice President, Data Science Credit Suisse, Pune, for giving his precious guidance and information in short time. Thank you, sir. I would like to extend my vote of thanks to the president of this webinar, Dr. P.H. Kadam sir, Principal, Mudaji College, Fulton. I would like to propose my vote of thanks, Dr. H.G. Dikshit sir, IQAC Coordinator, Associate Professor in English, Mudaji College, Fulton. I would like to propose vote of thanks Mr. Lamkani sir, HOD of Computer and Management Department, Mudaji College, Fulton. I would like to propose vote of thanks all faculty members and participants who actively participated in this webinar. Last but not least, I would like to propose vote of thanks to one and all on behalf of the Computer and Management Department, Mudaji College, Fulton. Thank you.
Now, all the participants get the feedback link in the WhatsApp group. You can fill up that feedback and submit that one. Okay, then, till then. Okay. Yes, sir.
Hello. Hello, please end the meeting.